case, yeah, creative. We don't get people to commit to quality support. And something at times who just want to survive, we supply them something.
Where you can actually make all these things work.
But here in Nigeria, it's difficult to actually sell our program to stations.
You can't let one thing suffer for the other.
Hello and welcome. This is A Chat to the Professional and my name is Martin Sobu. Remember, the show has been designed to x-ray the activities of professional individuals and corporate bodies, and we are doing our 10th anniversary series. I am in Washington, D.C., State Department to be precise. We shall be having the Deputy Assistant Secretary Populations, Refugees and Migration talk to us today about issues of refugees in Africa, and a bit of politics also. We are also going to talk about migration, and that will be after the break as usual. But remember, what we are doing is to see how we can encourage the younger ones all over Africa to draw inspiration from all these practicing professionals from across the world to see how we can better our societies. The issue of refugees and migration is a very big challenge that is affecting the development of the entire continent of Africa. So please don't go anywhere. I'll be right back after this break. Viewers, you're still watching A Chat to the Professional, the show that has been designed to x-ray the activities of professional individuals and corporate bodies. And here with me in Washington, D.C., like I did mention to you in my introduction, is the Deputy Assistant Secretary, Population, Refugees and Migration at the US State Department. And join me now as I welcome Dr. Reuben Brigety. My pleasure.
My pleasure. Good morning.
Yeah. Now, the issue of displaced persons in Africa. It's a major issue affecting, the overall development of the continent. How does your department come into this?
Well, the State Department provides assistance to refugees and displaced people all around the world. I am particularly responsible for refugee programs in all of Africa, so that assists about 11 million people across the continent. Government provides about $350 million worth of assistance through various partners as a means of trying to find durable solutions for people that are displaced from their homes.
Good. Now, how much support do you get from home countries of these affected countries?
Well, the most important support that we get from home countries is their ability to be places of first asylum. So whether it's Kenya or Djibouti or Algeria or Rwanda or other places, many countries provide for many years serve as hosts for people that are displaced from other countries across their borders as refugees. And then there are any number of other countries like Democratic Republic of the Congo, which have large numbers of people that are displaced within their borders.
Okay. Now, what are the greatest challenges you faced, tackling the issue of refugees in Africa?
Well, one of the things that we think about here at the State Department is that humanitarian problems like refugees not only have humanitarian solutions, they also have political solutions. So one of the most difficult challenges is not simply providing basic life-saving humanitarian relief, but it's also trying to address the core political and conflict dynamics which have led people to be displaced in the first place. So these are incredibly complex political challenges, but that's one of the things that we continue to work on.
Okay. Now, in all of this, where do you see the roles, of the youth in Africa? We have wars going on in several countries in Africa, occasioned by bad leadership, largely. What do you think would be the impact on the youth of Africa and the entire overall development of the continent?
Well, clearly the most important role of the youth is in developing the future. We say that many of these conflicts exist because of long-standing political disputes. It's vitally important for a youth of Africa not only to become educated so that they can provide for enduring political solutions, but also so they can help to develop their own economies. as a means of trying to stop this cycle of violence which affects so many countries on the continent.
Fantastic. You must agree with me. Dr. Brigety is not just well informed about what he does, but an authority. At this point, we must take a break. Please don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
What we are reflecting on is 50 years ago when television in Africa began in Ibadan. Those were great days. My dear brother, what is it that you can recall of those days?
Well, that very day it was open. The whole road was blocked. It was a mecca for people to even watch. They had to drag police from Agodi to come and maintain law and order. When the studio entered the studio, which they've never seen anywhere in Nigeria, see all the lighting and left that you can even see you. It was black and white. It was black and white. No, the color is not there at that time. But everyone was even coming from Lagos to come and see that you can even see yourself dancing. It was a beehive of activities. It was a wonderful time.
Let's start with the talk show host now. Hostess. Okay. Because you guys talk a lot, I think it's time for you to talk.
All right.
Offer solutions.
Yeah, so
I think what I've noticed is one of our major problems is the fact that we're not united as independent producers, because if you look at almost every TV or radio station, independent producers produce 90% of program content, yet we are not known. I mean, I know how many times people come to me, do you work with AIT? Or do you work, which station do you even work? They don't know that there's something called independent production. And that's because I think we're not selling ourselves. And that is the reason why I think we decided to come together to form the Association of Independent and Television Radio Program Producers Association of Nigeria, for which I am PRO.
Talking about when you got into production, you just mentioned U-matic. I remember you used to have a camera head and then one big recorder somewhere. Compare that era with what is going on now. I know that from U-matic, that metamorphosed into Betacam, and then from then we talked about the DV, and now we are talking about high definition.
Everything has changed.
Yes, everything has changed, both in terms of production, directing, and all that. While you were in the NTA, businesses were run with a particular format, because the NTA, for instance, being a public organization, they receive some sort of subvention from the government. Now, how do you sustain yourself now as a private broadcaster? How do you survive?
It is very, very difficult. From the beginning, we knew that funding was a problem. The issue of getting money to produce the kind of programs you want to produce was a problem.
Let me ask you, do you enjoy music?
Yes, I do.
What kind of music do you?
I do. When I was younger, especially passing through I very idealistic times of one's life when one is in the university. I used to listen a lot to jazz, but now, to be honest, I find that boring because a lot of my work at my level in life is in very quiet surroundings. So I tend to like hot music, disco music. It helps me to unwind. It's totally different from my normal type of life. And I do appreciate and like Nigerian music a lot. I think young men and women have really taken it to another level.
Okay. Professional handshake. Professional profile. In-depth analysis of professional issues.
But here in Nigeria, it's difficult to actually sell our program to stations.
You can't let one thing suffer from the other.
Join Martin Zobu every week on this channel as he chats with the professionals on the program. A chat with the professionals. A program designed to x-ray the activities of professional individuals and corporate bodies. Join us